Exists clause in SQL. Exists function in SQL is used to check whether the result of a correlated nested query is empty. That means it contains no tuples or not. The result of an exist function is a Boolean value. Can be either true or false. True if the nested query result contains at least one tuple. An exist function returns a false if the nested query contains no tuples. Let's have an example. Retrieve the name of each employee who has a dependent with the same first name and is the same sex as the employee. We have seen several methods to write this query using in method and also without using nested query. Here we can see using exist clause how this query can be reformulated. So the exist function returns true if the query result contains at least one tuple. So for this, I'm renaming the dependent table as D and the employee table as E. So E is the alias for employee and D is the alias for dependent. And we select employees SSN if the dependent's first name is equal to the employee's first name as well as dependent sex is equal to employee sex. So we select all those dependent tuples. We select all the dependent tuples in which their names are equal to their employees' name and their sex is equal to the employee's name. Such kinds of dependent tuples are selected. And if any of the tuples are present in this nested or inner query, this exist function returns true. That means that employees are selected, their names are retrieved. That means their select E dot first name, E dot last name from employee as E, where exist select star from dependent as D, where E dot SSN is equal to D dot SSN and E dot first name equal to D dot dependent name and E dot sex is equal to D dot sex. Exist function returns true if at least one of the tuple in the nested query is true and it returns false otherwise. In the case of not exist function, it returns true if no tuples in the result and otherwise it returns false. Let's have an example for not exist. Retrieve the name of all employees who has no dependent. So initially we select all the dependent tuples with employee SSN is equal to ESSN. Select star from dependent as D, where E dot SSN is equal to D dot ESSN, not exist. Select E dot first name, E dot last name from employee as E, where not exist this one. If this inner query returns an SSN, returns a tuple, that means that tuple, that employee tuple has a dependent. So this will not be in the, this will not be selected by the outer query. If that SSN value is absent, that tuple is selected by the query. Another example is the name of the managers who do not have at least who has at least one dependent. Who has, list the name of the managers who has at least one dependent. Here, this query is written using two exist clauses. In the first exist clauses, we are selecting the dependent tuples, and in the second tuple, we are selecting the managers. If both these, if the employee is a manager as well as that employee has a dependent, that tuple is selected and their names are retrieved. So the query is select first name, last name from employee where exist. First subquery, that is select star from dependent where SSN is equal to ESSN. That means the employee has a dependent, and that SSN should be the manager, should be a manager of any one of the department. So select star from department where SSN is equal to manager SSN. Next, retrieve the name of all employees who works on all the projects controlled by the department number 5. Here, we are selecting the employees' names. First, there are actually two queries are there. Two subqueries are there. Two inner queries are there. Two subqueries are there. Select project number from project where. Select project number from project where department number equal to 5. That means here we are selecting all the project numbers which are controlled by the department number 5. All the project numbers which are controlled by department number 5. Then this except, that means this minus except clause in SQL is used as a set difference. This minus select project number from works on where SSN equal to ESSN. That means this second subquery retrieves the project numbers in which a person is working. Project numbers in which the person is working, being considered as works on. If the set difference of the first subquery result minus second subquery is empty, that means employee works on all the projects and employee works on all the projects. Such tuples are selected. Such employees are selected. That means that employee is working on all the projects controlled by department number 5. The first subquery retrieves the project number in which project number which are controlled by department number 5. Second subquery selects the project number in which a person is working on. So the first subquery minus second subquery means if is empty, that means the employee works on all the projects. Employee works on all the projects controlled by department number 5. So that employees are selected. Another form of the same query, that is in the previous cases we use only single not X clauses. In the next case, we are using two not exist clauses. Select last name, first name from employee where not exist. Select star from works on B where B dot project number in. Select project number from project where D number equal to 5 and not exist. Select star from works on C where C dot ESSN is equal to SSN and C dot P number equal to B number. The intention is that here we are selecting some employees such that there does not exist a project controlled by department number 5 that the employee does not work on. Here we are selecting the employees such that there does not exist a project controlled by department number 5 that the employee does not work on. The function unique unique function. So returns true if there is no duplicate tuples in the result of the query. Otherwise, it returns a false. If there is no duplicate values, the unique tuple returns a true value. Thank you.